with. So Daylyt had some advice for JC. It was a little late, to be fair, because, you know, we all saw what JC, what's left of JC. We saw what Surf did to JC. And Daylyt took to the timeline to address what he thinks JC should have done with Surf. I am blocked by Daylyt on Twitter. Daylyt, if this ever reaches you, please unblock me. I don't know that I've ever said an ill word against you, and if I have, you probably deserved it. But yeah, it would be dope to be able to see what you tweet. But Rivers told me about this, so he sent me the tweets. Thank you very much, my bro Rivs. And here's what he said. He set up a scenario for JC coming out on the stage. Shout out everyone in the comments. Yes, he is a troll. His lives are comedy. Yeah, they're absolute comedy, but I don't get to see his tweets. Hey, franchise, that's very sweet. So he says JC should have done this. He would have at least got the first round. Here's how JC could have beat Tsu Surf. JC, he starts the battle off with, "Fuck this yellow hoodie. I don't play, son." And then he throws the hoodie on the ground. So he takes off that yellow neon Amiri hoodie, throws it on the crowd. The crowd goes crazy. And then says, "Seen what I did to this hoodie? Just imagine if it was a grey one." And then walks up to Lux, who is standing there, right there on stage. So he walks past Jet Surf, dashes down that Amiri hoodie, says, "Fuck that. Imagine if it was a grey one." I can't get too excited. Imagine if JC had started that. Imagine if JC has the kind of delivery to get that off. I think he's got it in him, you know. He's a performer, I guess, at heart, with the dancer stuff. And he continues. He's got some bars as well. He says, he follows it up with, "I expect he hiding. Texas rising. What do y'all think is this? Why do y'all think is this surprising? If I kick, my whole squad let it kick. We electric sliding." As he's, you know, doing the electric slide. Excuse my poor imitation of Daylyt here. It was never going to be great at the best of times, and it's clearly not the best of times. And he's got a finisher. He says, followed by Tool Spark, Avengers after Thanos. This is a new Hawk. Gun so big when it kicked, I did the moonwalk. And then when he's doing the moonwalk, he does the moonwalk across the entire stage with the gun hand gestures. The crowd would have lost their mind. They absolutely would have lost their mind. You know, and he's got the bars there, he's got performance, he's got swag, he's got delivery, like all of those kind of elements that you need to beat Surf. You know, you coming out, you're saying fuck this, and before you even address Surf, you're sending a message to Lux. Lux is a battle that, you know, you won, that you are hoping to come and beat Surf or have a great showing against Surf and step into that Lux battle. JC, of course, you know, if he's able to do those things. And you've got Daylyt, a showman, an absolute showman, a complete troll, yes. Sometimes the showman antics are outrageous, absolutely outrageous. But Daylyt knows how to work a stage. He knows how to control an audience, and he knows how to make moments. You need moments against Surf. Can you imagine? Before JC has spat a bar, he shut down the crowd. He's had a moment before he's even rapped. Like, sent a message to Lux as well. Like, there's just so much there. And even like with the bars where you can see Daylyt's kind of thinking about moment type, performance type bars, like, and kind of taking the sting out of I'm a dancer. You know, you're going to have some shit to clown me for being a dancer. Taking some sting out of that, doing the dance moves while you're spitting some fire bars, performing. Like, you need all of those elements, those to make moments. You can't just come with your pen. So I thought that was a great kind of example of what it takes to beat Surf. But one thing is for sure, you need star power. You need star power. Surf has proven that kind of time and time and again. You need a hell of a lot of presence to go up there. You need very high battle rap IQ. You need to know how to create those moments, how to diffuse what or neutralize what Surf is going to do with your own round. It's the only battle that I've had a chance to watch back yet, and he's so intricate with his intertwining of the elements. Like, he does so many things with just his voice, like just the tone of his voice. JC is pretty much monotonous throughout all 3 rounds. Anyway, I said I'm not gonna chop up Summer Madness or that battle, because I could talk about it for a long time. Maybe I'll do a recap when it drops on the app or something. But yeah, I thought that was great advice. Surf is too dangerous on them big stages. He absolutely is. Yeah, he really is, for sure. But who else do we have? So yeah, Daylyt. Do we want to see a Daylyt and Surf battle? I think that's is it one we want to see? I don't I don't know that I'm gonna believe anything that has it been touted. It's not. I put Daylyt in the thumbnail because that's the sort of thing that you need to beat Surf. Daylyt has that stage presence. He's come out with a great idea. Daylyt would have the best chance out of anyone. Hey, real lady, love to you. It's up to Surf. But yeah, like I said, even if Daylyt was talking about it, he's talked about a hell of a lot of battles over the years that we have yet to see, so I'm not getting excited for it. Surf himself has said that he wants he's listened to his choice of opponents. He wants Mac Myron on a light work card, so that's the URL, the new kind of time clock, 90-second rounds, is it? I think it's 90-second rounds in a very small room, which incidentally I think is the only chance we're getting Surf in a small room in the near future. Maybe, this has just occurred to me as well, maybe he wants that battle. I think it's a great battle as well, Surf and Matt Myron in that setting. I'd love to see it. The both of them uninterrupted for 90 seconds, going back to back. I think that would be fire. But I'm wondering if it's Surf kind of warming himself back into the small room, because obviously Surf left and said he was leaving after he lost to Lux and then lost to 40 in that early caffeine setting, the studio setting, where, he had the echo problems with Surf, with Lux. Not sure what happened with 40. But he left and said, let me know when the stage is coming back. I'm coming to analyze you guys for now, and I'll be back when the stage is back. So maybe that's him kind of reworking himself back into a small room environment. I don't know, just speculating there. So Mac Myron on light work, he and Danny have both kind of gone back and forth about a volume battle in December. Again, volume is not going to be a small room, or unlikely to be from what we've heard so far. Beasley has said this volume will be very much like last year's volume, which was headlined by Surf. I'm sure if Surf was on his headlining. He said, I'm bringing the stage back for the volume. We're not doing that small room shit. We're having a stage. I'm Surf. I'm bringing a stage and a crowd. And Beasley said it's going to be the same sort of volume this year. So even if he does that battle Danny Myers, it's not going to be in a small room where perhaps Danny might have the advantage. There's no perhaps about it. Surf is, he's at his strongest on the big stage. No two ways about it. Danny has various intangibles that are needed to beat Surf. One thing he doesn't have, and this is something we were talking about in Verified Source yesterday, I think it was Henny that mentioned it, you need to be a star. Like, you really need to have that star power. You need to bring your fan base. You need to be able to create that kind of, that same energy around everything about the battle, so that before you even go in there, you're not, you know, kind of losing before you've even started. And this is not, you know, Danny's going to do what Danny's going to do, but these things matter. These things carry weight, and they do make a difference. I'd like to see Danny versus Surf on the volume for sure. Do I think Surf needs the crowd for energy to work? Now, I spoke about this the other day. I think Surf is absolutely at his. Surf seems to me to be like he's an entertainer. He's a performer. He's a show off. Like, the best entertainers are, the best performers are naturally show offs. They want to go up there and entertain a crowd, have a crowd repeating their words back to them or along with them. They want to energize, like they want to rock a stage, rock a crowd, and be amazing at it. And I think Surf thrives in that. He thrives crowd energy. And one of the reasons why it's so important, even when you're watching at home, you get so many complaints about the crowd, is because it totally affects the energy of the battlers up on stage. It affects the room. It affects the watch back. It affects absolutely everything, because energy is all transferable. And that symbiotic relationship that Surf has curated with the crowd, it's magnificent to behold. Like, it really is. That he's honed it down to a very kind of fine art. And for me, I don't think there's a problem with him only wanting to battle in that setting. I do think it's limiting, of course, and he's open to, oh well, you couldn't battle B Dot, say, in a small room. Maybe so. Maybe not right now. We've seen Surf be amazing in small rooms historically, but just in recent past, on this run, he's done it on the stage, and he's been vocal about not wanting to battle in these kind of small rooms that we were having during the pandemic. It's slightly different right now, so maybe, like I said, that's why he's going back into light. He's easing himself back in with the light work, but we'll see. Surf said it during the pandemic era when big stages come back, he'll own that. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is he said it himself, and yeah, I don't think he needs it, because, like I said, we've seen Surf in a small room. Like, we've seen Surf be electrifying, delivering a freestyle. Like, not everyone can do that. So we know he can do it, but right now he's like at peak form up there. I want to keep seeing peak form Surf. So I'm here for whatever is working for him. What's my thoughts on chess? I will say very briefly, I was a little heartbroken by that. It was hard to watch, but I do think chess, he can't be at this stage of his career. He's way too talented. He's got way too much potential to be up there saying, I don't know why this is happening. Find out why. If it's a physiological thing, then go to a doctor. There will be medications, there will be therapies, there will be all sorts of things that you can do to improve that sort of an issue. It may just be a preparation thing. It may be this only happens when he's unprepped. And if that's the case, well, then there's probably still things that you can do to minimize the physiological. So you're not throwing up on stage. You're literally not throwing up. You might still be anxious. You might still be up there stumbling and stuttering and whatnot. But at least, we know you're just choking and you're not up there throwing up, basically, is how I feel about it. But Chess is an incredible talent. He's one of my favourites when he's on top form. We've seen him be great recently. I want him to to get back to that. But Chess is kind of, he's just still in this. He had a little run when K-Shine said you need those 5 battles. He had like 5 or 6, didn't he? Maybe even more than that, where he was solid and he was clean. Since then, we've been back to up and down since the Shine battle, actually. Interesting. Not that he wasn't clean then, but I'm just saying since then, I think that's when the form dropped. And he did talk about being unmotivated and wanting to retire at 22, which was wild. But sort out that issue. But yeah, big tangent. Is Surf one of my favorite battlers? He's my favorite. He's my favorite battler. I think he pretty much always has been. But yeah, so another suggestion or another possibility coming up for Surf is, and he put this out there himself. He says, I think I want to go to Battle Rap Prom next month. Bearing in mind, he said this right after saying he's going on a hiatus, and then was talking to A-Ward, talking to Danny, so you have to take everything with a grain of salt. But he's saying next month, prom night. Now, Viixen. Obviously, when Viixen battled Tay Rock, that was originally scheduled to be a Surf battle, but it had to be rescheduled because Surf was battling Cortez. Could we see that be rescheduled for prom night? Queen of the Ring have prom night coming up. It is headlined, I think, or it's the first battle that was announced is Caution and Tay Rock versus Shuni and Fettuccine. I love that. That's fire. Crazy couples battle. That's super dope. And also, is it 40 bars on Fonz as well, right? This card, yeah, I like that card. We need some more announcements, please. Queen of the Ring, I'll have to do when we do. I'll talk about those. Could we see Viixen versus Surf? Is that a possibility? Could we see an upset from Viixen? Let's see. Could a woman beat Surf on a big stage? I think a woman is almost a walking intangible full stop. Simply, as opposed to your average male battler, they tend to get into a very different bag. They bring, they can talk about different material. They can attack an angle from different ways. They will say things to you that a guy will never say. They go all the way in. And that's something, like I say, that can be an intangible of itself. Viixen, crazy pen, electrifying performer. In my mind, she beat DNA. I think she 30'd DNA, not just beat him. I think she 30'd that man on her URL debut. I think it was a URL debut. It was certainly a caffeine debut, when she was an unknown to much of the wider battle rap audience, or certainly the casual fan, and to much of the caffeine audience. The predictions for her to win that were dire, but she won clearly, and in my mind got that 30. And I also believe I think she had a very close battle with Rock that I give her the edge. Like, I think she edged Rock. I thought her 3 rounds were better. I think she's incredible. If she were to, when the Surf battle, and she prepared for Surf, had to change it up for Rock. I think for Rock, for Surf, she comes even better than she was for Rock. She would have learned a hell of a lot about star power, about presence, about battling vets and legends and battlers like Tay Rock, from that battle, ironically enough, right? She would have taken so much from that to kind of make her better for a Surf battle. Like I said at the beginning, last time we saw Surf lose, it was to a woman. Very different setting, but again, an incredibly capable woman, one who brings lots of intangibles, very experienced. I think she learned from battling Rock what she would get from Surf. This is it, real lady. It was a close battle for sure. Yeah, definitely. She's learned some things. She knows some things now. That lady knows some things now. So yeah, would I predict it? No. Could I see it potentially happening? Potentially. I mean, anything is possible, right? And I do think it would take a performer like Viixen or somebody else who has said in recent days, I think I want to battle Tsu Surf, Miss Hustle, another incredible performer. Talk about electrifying, talk about intangibles. I don't know that Surf battles Miss Hustle. Surf is not blessed with the gift of height. Hustle is an Amazonian. Optically, just in terms of optics, is crazy. Hustle barking down on Surf is crazy. I'd even hope that she gets like some wedged heels or something, some boots, some highlights, so she's even taller. That would look fucking outrageous. And we know Hustle can bark. We know she's aggressive, as physical. She's gonna talk to you. She's gonna come and punch your fucking head up. Like, she can work the crowd. She is a great performer. She's got a great energy, constant energy. She maintains that energy. She's gonna try and bully you. Like, she'd try and bat him up there on that stage. It'd be wicked for Surfing that place. Excuse me, I cannot get too excited. I think, and like say Viixen brought out Hustle or Hustle brought out Viixen is a little bit of a cheat, right? But can you imagine something like that? These are the moments. These are moments, like, and I think Hustle and Viixen, again, these ladies know how to create moments. It's a huge jump in star power. I'm gonna have to go back to something that I said that you need to beat Surf. You need that weight, you need that fan base, you need that star power. Maybe Death Row Hustle, not maybe, I think Death Row Hustle definitely has the advantage over Viixen there. And it she doesn't, nobody really matches, apart from legends, greats, that kind of aura, star power that Surf has. But I'm here for it. Hustle and Surf would be dangerous as a team together. Oh my God. They would be for sure. Yeah. They would be. I don't think we'll ever see that, obviously, because Hustle is EFB and Surf is gun titles. I think Surf and Prestavia is far more likely, and Prestavia still making her way, still a rising star, but she's crazy. She and Surf together could do a madness for real. The ladies in our scene have a lot of talent. But yes, so I'm here for it. I'm here for Surf battling one of these powerful women. I can see both Viixen and Hustle for different reasons, and I think they've got some potential on a big stage to do some shit. So I'd be excited for that. Somebody else. Let me see if I've got my tweets in order. Somebody else. Somebody else who has some smoke for Tsu Surf is A-Ward. So Jim says, so who's going to stop Surf? Eazy was the only one, and this genius puts him on the same crew as him. Surf, I tell you, shake my head, that man knows what he's doing. So Ward says, he don't talk to adults. He keeps battling kids. Incidentally, I should have put Eazy on there because Eazy, right? Eazy, we've seen what Eazy can do on his stage. He's the newest member of Gun Titles, Prisavian notwithstanding. He, he's going to want to be able to say he beat big Gun Titles Tsu Surf, big Jersey Tsu Surf. Surf isn't going to want to lose to the guy he brought on to Gun Titles. Could Eazy do it? I'm still so here for that battle. They've said it will happen. I haven't seen Surf mention it since Eazy joined Gun Titles, except to say, yeah, it's got to happen at some point. But, I haven't seen him on any hit list or anything like that. I definitely think Surf can be Eazy, but I think also, anything is possible. I think Eazy, when we're talking about these top tier, high level, elite battlers, anyone can go in there and lose. Anyone. And even sometimes, we see some of the top tiers get taken down on a bad day by someone who has no business barely even being on the stage with them, never mind beating them. Like we've seen it happen. So yeah, but when we're dealing with the highest level, anyone can lose. Look at Rock and Swamp the other day. That was a strategy issue, mainly why he lost out there. So yeah, it can be done. But moving on. So Surf comes out and says, hey, Aaron. Hello, Aaron. Funnily enough, Surf speaks a different language. Apparently, Twitter wanted to translate that tweet. It translates to hello, Aaron, spelled exactly the same. So I don't know what hidden language Surf is communicating with, but Twitter picks it up, I guess. That's how elite his pen is. It writes different to us. It's a whole different language. So there was a conversation going on, I think started by somebody who suggested A-Ward couldn't beat Surf without rebuttals. A-Ward's like, why the hell should I even try? Why wouldn't I want to use one of my strongest skills, one of my intangibles? Like, what a stupid question. And then I think the boss responded to say, Surf could beat you without AMG mode. And then him and Surf get back and forth on this little hilarious, what's AMG stand for? Another man's gift. He says it all makes sense now. Another man's gift, saying, it's the AMG mode. Shout out Quilly. Surf responded to say, no, about to meet God. If you keep playing with me, watch it, white boy. Devils do exist. White boy says, meet God. Crazy, because for a Christian, that's a main goal. But you're just a mere grandson. And my God already met grandpa and made a grave. I love it when they do this. Aaron must go. Simple. All right, my guy. I love that little exchange there. They do this every so often. They go back and forth and they tease it, right? They tease this potential happening. P had a conversation the other day, or just dropped earlier on Hip Hop is Real, talking about A-Ward. And he said that A-Ward doesn't sound like a guy who wants to be on URL. I can't remember the conversation that there was a interview, I think, that A-Ward did post the Rumnitty battle that Pete was referring to, and he was saying basically he just sounds like he doesn't want to be over here. and he's saying, we want him over here and he can get names over here. He was talking about, T-Top. He didn't mention any other names. He's saying that they're at the point now where, they're, when he reaches out, it's when he reaches out. They're not going to continue to, or not continue, but they're saying right now, if it's on him, that the ball is in his court. He was asked what, other guys come over without a contract, have great relationships with you, battle a couple times a year, and you go, well, why can't A-Ward do that? P says, A-Ward is too good for that. He is a star. We want you. So he's saying, we don't want you to, and I don't know how accurate this is, or if it's kind of, so yeah, he's basically just saying A-Ward is too good. He's a star. When he comes over here, we need to keep him because he's just too good. Like, we really want you like that. We want you to be on our league. But he's basically saying, like, no, you're too good. When you come over to URL, you're going to add even more weight to your greatness. You're going to need to stay with us for a little while, is what I read it as. Now, A-Ward said, where was that? So A-Ward responds, someone asked his thoughts on it. He says, I don't remember the content. So the most important bit was his LeBron analogy is off because I won't sign exclusive, extensive contracts without guarantees or money battles. I didn't catch the LeBron analogy, to be fair. And he's saying they can get 4 battles for $50K today. So that's like, what, $12,500 a battle for $50K today. Someone says, would you, let's say to start off 2023, would you only do those 4 and then reevaluate before going back to your normal schedule? And he's saying, yes, of course I would. I did 23 for 100 last year. So he's saying, you made 100K last year and did 23 battles. Now you want 4 for 50. I don't think it's out of order, to be honest. I don't know if I would have said what I made off of how many, I don't know if I'd have given them that information. But yeah, I think, are we any closer to seeing it? There was another conversation again. Does A-Ward deserve Tsu Surf? He's going back and forth with Tsu Surf. It would be his URL debut. There is precedent for it. Rock, Pat Stay debuted on Summer Madness in London against Tay Rock. Pat Stay, obviously, rest in peace, Pat Stay, long live Pat Stay. Obviously, huge, star, but I think A-Ward is up there. A-Ward is up there. I don't think it's out of line for him to when he's if Surf is saying I want to battle A-Ward, I don't know that he is, but if he's saying that, then simple as that, right? Somebody who definitely is saying that is Tay Rock. Tay Rock wants to also battle A-Ward. Is that something we are going to see? Do you want to see that? Can A-Ward beat Surf? Does he have the intangibles? We've just seen the battle he had with Romney, currently one of the front runners for Battle of the Year, if not the front runner. Maybe the Bardashians and Shunal 2 and 2 is kind of another potential contender. Are we here for it? Are we here for A-Ward being on URL? Is that boat sailed? Do we see it happening? I don't think, it's not going to happen anywhere else, A-Ward and Tsu Surf. I'm good. I'm enjoying the back and forth, but I'm not holding my breath. A-Ward's just got to come to URL, get some blood in his mouth. I totally agree. I don't think he's got to. I'd love to see him though, and it is the biggest stage. It's the NBA. Like, he's done amazingly well against URL battlers. Outside of URL, we know that he can prima facie battle these guys. Like, yes, once you are on URL and on that stage, it does add an extra layer. But I think he will prove that he can do that. We saw him on, was it Max Out against Ill Will? Like, huge crowd, I think 1,500 or something. He rocked that stage. He had the crowd eating out of the palm of his hand against Ill Will. And at that time, Ill Will was like Mr. Headline RBE. Like, and he went up there and more than held his own. So, again, it's not URL, but we've seen when he needs to step up and do something else, he does that. A-Ward is someone, he's comfortable in any environment. Like, we saw, he just battled Nitty in the King of Diamonds. Like, he battled Geechee on the Riot. Like, what are we doing? We know he can, or we've got every reason to have faith, right? I think he's deserves that much. That word is often used. I think he deserves some faith. No one should be restricted to one league and block battlers' bags. I agree. However, I do understand where URL are coming from, in that you battling on URL does a lot for your brand. It gives you opportunities. Like, if URL is pushing you, it's in, and if I'm pushing you, I'm paying money to help your career, to develop you. Obviously, I'm getting something out of it as well, but I want you, I'm doing all of that to get the best out of you. And then you're going to other stages and they're benefiting. Like, they're going over there, you're going over there, and they're kind of just headlining or whatever, getting these great battles because of what I've put in. Or conversely, you're going over there and you're fucking up my stock. Like, I've done all this to push you, to get you, to help you get where you are. And you're going over to Boondocks Battle League and losing to Billy Bag the barman. Like, it's not a great look, right? So I can understand why there is some measure of exclusivity built in. And these, they're not lifetime contracts. Some of them are for a certain amount of battles. And I think the thing with A-Ward, did I get that tweet actually? Maybe I didn't. What's this one? Maybe I didn't get it. But he had said it's not even about the contract. It's more that he wants certain guarantees. He wants certain, I think a certain number of battles over a certain number of time guaranteed, and that's not guaranteed to him. I think I'm pissed I haven't got that here, but he's saying, like, the things that I want, I won't sign exclusive extensive contracts without guarantees. So they want me to sign this contract to say, yeah, I'm going to be a URL battler for the next year, but there's no money or battles guaranteed. He's saying, I'm happy to, or it sounds like he's saying, yeah, I'll sign 4 battles for 50k. Like, if you tell me next year I can have 4 battles and you'll give me 50k for them, then I will sign an exclusive contract. If you can't give me that, and then because we hear stories about URL booking battlers basically just, and this is them paying, this is not even them giving you a contract and saying, yeah, you're ours now for the next year. This is them putting big money in their pockets. Like, I think Cassidy and Freeway are saying they've been paid, right? I think Cassidy said he's been paid. Cassidy has been paid since, what was that, like October last year or something? Was that the Drake card? October last year, he's been paid. And that battle is yet to materialise. We saw what Hollow said about, what battle was that? I can't remember. But, you know, so he's saying, not suggesting that's what they would do, but he's saying, I'm not going to tie myself into a contract and then I don't know what that means for me. So I respect it. Ward just got to come to the NBA/URL at least one time. Yeah, I would love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it.